really well because we were smaller, maybe a little bit more athletic, getting up and down just with speed, like guys flying. We didn't really have a post in there, so there's a lot of room to drive because there was an open post. So I thought that went well, and we made some shots, which obviously is a huge key. And like it obviously helps that Reese was also in foul trouble, so they were kind of small as well. You know, they didn't have a Reese or a Dickinson or somebody in there that without Philip and Chris we would have struggled with. So that was definitely a big key.
Were you the five in that group, or?
Technically, yeah. We were. There was a couple times like we were switching a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I was guarding Reese or Scott, or I think they even had Harden there at the five at some point because they really went small because they matched us because again Reese was also in foul trouble, so I technically was the five. Like we ran a play and I ran the five spot, so.
You take that as a point of pride?
Like being able to play the five?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. You gotta show a level of toughness.
1, 2, 5, right?
Yeah.
Their coach said that he thought that was the best he's ever seen you play at that Concord area. What would you?
Hot take. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
How'd you feel? I mean,
Maybe.
You feel like you affected the game pretty considerably.
Yeah, I thought I played well. I mean, I felt like I passed it pretty well. Made some shots. I don't know. I would hope he means that as a compliment, not like a dig. But yeah, I thought I played well. I had a couple rebounds bounce off my hands. I wish I had back out of bounds or back into play. There's a couple things I would have taken back, but for the most part, one bad turnover. But I had some steals. Felt like I played good defense on Scott. A couple steals early on. You know, stripped him. Maybe that got him out of whack. You know, for the first half, he normally he's a guy that really gets going. So tried to do a good job on him, and yeah, defended, played a lot of minutes. So I'm tired.
How important was it for you guys to get Tony going, get him back going and scoring again?
It's huge because he's so key. Like he brings energy, he brings toughness, he brings a lot to our squad, and it's just another dimension like that other teams have to worry about in guard. And you know, I mean, it happens all the time. Like it wasn't. I don't think it was a big deal. Guys go through, you know, a couple game, 2-3 game lulls, and that's just kind of the way that it is. You know, we've all been there. It happens, and it's okay. You just gotta find your groove again, and that's what he did. And you know, his effectiveness is getting up and down, transition, dunking the ball like he was, you know, attacking, getting downhill, and he had missed a lot of those like pull up, mid range, 10 to 15 footers. And he had missed a lot in that stretch, and he normally, like, that's a great shot for him. He really makes that at a high clip in practice, in prior games, and he made those today, which is huge because he's so good at that shot. And when he's making that, it's really hard to keep him out of the paint. So it's a huge asset for us.
What does it say about this team that, you know, Chris and Philip were both in foul trouble the first half, but you guys were able to maintain that lead and even stretch it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows the confidence that we're playing with. It shows how effective like Josh Diggs and DeSante can be when they come in. How well Payton's playing right now. You know, because obviously the goal down the stretch, the Big Ten season, and we're not down the stretch yet, but we want to be all clicking on all cylinders as we hit this home stretch. And so the more that we can get on the floor, different lineups, play together with different people, the better that we'll be able to continue on our win streak, I guess. And so, you know, them being in foul trouble, they're going to be fine. Obviously, they're both playing extremely well. But the way that lineup was able to come in and perform, I think, like I said earlier, just brings another level of toughness, like maybe another level of speed that we really get, another level of space, and that can be really effective.
You had a couple steals in the first half. It felt like as a team y'all had more strings of like consecutive stops on defense. How do you feel about the effort compared to maybe like the Michigan game?
Yeah, I thought minus the start of the second half, which was awful, I thought our defense was good. I really did. Maybe like 2 or 3 plays at the very end of the first half and then started the second half. So whatever that was, like maybe a 6-minute stretch was beyond bad. So we'll have to watch the film on that. But other than that, I really thought we were good. Like we were tough. I thought we guarded our yard pretty well. The only thing throughout the rest of the game we probably could have done better was keep Young from getting left because he really is tough getting downhill. But I think that, like you said, getting consecutive stops, that's how you extend games, and that's what we did. And that's when we're playing defense like that, like we're going to score. So it's just makes us tough.
In the last 3 games before this one, as has been discussed, Tony hadn't been playing that well, but when the team's going well and maybe individuals aren't, do you worry that they feel like they're getting left behind, or do you just have confidence that, as you said, a lull and they'll be right back in the thick of it?
Yeah, no, I don't think he felt like that. I think it's more just bring him along. Like, you know, we're picking you up right now, but you're gonna pick us up at some point, which is what he did today. You know, I think that's just like a pretty standard team dynamic. Would just be to, you know, you're always gonna recognize who may or may not be struggling and highlight that guy. Make sure you're boosting him up, talking to him, giving him confidence, you know, throwing him tips here and there every day in practice, making sure getting him extra looks, that kind of thing. And I felt like that's what we've been trying to do with TP. And you know, I mean, like today he played great, so hopefully he can carry this now into the future.
Okay, thanks.